On the 23rd of November 1963, a British television icon was born. However, little did anyone watching Doctor Who's first episode back then know what a success the show would turn out to be. That 54 years later, the programme would be about to relaunch itself all over again, with the introduction of a female incarnation of the Doctor. As part of the compulsory EPQ programme at my school, I recently completed a research-based project concerned with the nature of Doctor Who's enduring appeal and the reasons for it. In celebration of the show's anniversary, I have reformatted my presentation and essay into a bite-sized video documentary. So how has Doctor Who remained so popular for all these years? Well, although initially it was never intended as anything more than another BBC Saturday tea time drama, Doctor Who was set up as a show with a unique, cross-generational appeal. To cater to viewers of the two shows either side of the 5:15 slot, head of drama Sidney Newman deliberately devised a team of recurring characters that viewers of all ages could relate to. First, the grandfather-like figure of the Doctor, his seemingly 15-year-old granddaughter Susan, and Ian and Barbara, two younger adult characters that, like the viewer, stumble into the Doctor's world. Having said that, however, there's no doubt that it was the show's first alien menace, the Daleks, that secured its future. They're an instant hit with adult viewers because of their allusions back to the very recent Second World War, and appealed to children because of their iconic design and merchandising potential. A major part of Doctor Who's broader appeal can be attributed to the Doctor himself. Though he's an individual, an underdog, and a social misfit, the Doctor can nevertheless fit into any situation, time or place. As a character, he represents a set of ideal values: courage, curiosity, kindness, the list goes on. Arguably, the Doctor's moral code is made most explicit in this scene from the recent Series 10 finale, The Doctor Falls.
I do what I do because it's right! Because it's decent! And above all, it's kind!
With Jodie Whittaker, a female actor playing the role of the Doctor in next year's series, it seems that the range of values that the character stands for will only become more diverse in future years. Doctor Who is unique for its ability to revitalise and regenerate itself. This can be by introducing a new Doctor, companion or head writer. However, the show also relies on regenerating itself on a weekly basis, with completely different characters, settings and plots every week to those seen the last. Another reason the show has always remained such a prominent part of our culture is that it provides a social commentary to current affairs, but is never overtly political. For example, the 1988 story The Happiness Patrol is a blatant parody of Thatcherism, with the main villain made to resemble the then current Prime Minister. Even the hiatus period of the Wilderness Years can be interpreted as an integral part of Doctor Who's long-term success. The show didn't in fact die in 1989, it lived on in the form of multimedia incarnations, books, audio dramas, fanfiction, and even an official TV movie, all of which have inspired aspects of the revived era. Without the hiatus, there would have been no chance for a new generation of writers to develop. There would have been no grand return in 2005. In many ways, the Wilderness Years was a blessing in disguise for Doctor Who. The show's format is adaptable. It can work just as well as a novel or comic strip as it does on television, should the main series be put on hiatus. However, Doctor Who has been at its most popular when all of these extra formats have interconnected with the TV run, to create an immersive, transmedia viewing experience. Take the revived series for example, with its spin-off shows, minisodes, prequels, adventure games and more. Doctor Who was also tried out briefly as a blockbuster format in the 60s with the Peter Cushing films. Though these films were successful, they did prove that ultimately it's impossible for the show to work as a movie format alongside its television run. The films were essentially rehashes of the first two Dalek serials, and featured a different actor playing the Doctor for logistical reasons. However, some would say the Doctor Who has different overall strengths and weaknesses to blockbuster films, and therefore shouldn't be compared to them. Furthermore, a television viewing experience is often a much more intimate, and therefore scary affair. This was especially evident for 60s audiences, when the medium was a relatively new innovation. So what is the overall reason for Doctor Who's enduring success? Can its popularity be attributed to one single factor? I came to the conclusion that the one key ingredient is inspiration. Due to the show's cross-generational appeal, there is a constant influx of new fans to replace the older ones. It is only because these younger fans have been inspired by the programme that individuals such as Stephen Moffat and Peter Capaldi have been motivated enough to work in the TV industry because of it, that it's been able to keep going. And as long as Doctor Who can continue to stimulate its audience into activity, making them the professionals of the future, I think its future is very much secure.